Dear students, next we can see about the correspondence principle. This correspondence principle was given by Bohr. That is, he said that it serves as a guide for the development of quantum theory. Then this quantum theory, if the quantum theory becomes insignificant, then it would agree with classical physics. Then next point is that is the classical limit will be attained, that is when the quantized variables are much larger than their minimum quantum size. That is a minimum quantum size is h, then the classical limit means that is L is very much greater than h. Then the quantum theory, it approaches classical theory in the limit when n tends to infinity. The next, you consider a transition between the state with a quantum number n plus k to a quantum number n. Then the frequency of the emitted photon is nu is equal to m by 4 pi h cross cube into z square by 4 pi epsilon naught the whole square into 1 by n square minus 1 by n plus k the whole square. Then if n is large, then n will be very much greater than k. Therefore 1 by n plus k the whole square, this is equal to n square you take outside, then it will become 1 plus k by n the whole square. Then you separate this 1 by n square into 1 by 1 plus k by n the whole square. Then you bring this 1 plus k by n the whole square to the numerator, then it will become minus 2. That is equal to 1 by n square into 1, then binomial theorem apply, therefore 1 minus 2 into k by n. Then you multiply 1 by n square minus 2k by n cube. Therefore frequency nu is equal to m by 4 pi h cross cube into z square by 4 pi epsilon naught the whole square into this value is 2k by n h cross 2k by n cube. Then this h cross and n you take and we put whole cube, that is m by 4 pi z square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught the whole square into 2k by n h cross the whole cube. Then you know the angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. H cross means h by 2 pi. Therefore L is equal to n h cross. Then you substitute, then you will be n h cross becomes L. Then according to the classical electrodynamics, it is said that a revolving electron, it emits radiation with a frequency. That frequency will be equal to the frequency of revolution of the electron. Therefore the frequency of revolution is given by nu. Then it revolves in a circular orbit with a radius r. Therefore the classical frequency is v by 2 pi r. That is, we know v is equal to r omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t. Then 1 by t is equal to frequency nu. Then next you write the above equation. Nu classical is equal to m by 2 pi l cube into z square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught the whole square. Then here you put k is equal to n 1. Then for large value of n, the transition will be possible between the adjacent states, that is n to n plus 1. Then Bohr said that this rule is governed by a selection rule, that is delta n will be equal to 1, that is the transition is from n to n plus 1. Then next is Bohr-Sommerfeld theory. In Bohr-Sommerfeld theory, he said that according to Bohr's theory, the nucleus is at the center and the electron revolves around the nucleus in various circular orbits. Then here he does not explain the fine structure of the spectral lines, but these were modified by Sommerfeld. Then here Sommerfeld, he says that this electron revolves around the nucleus in an elliptical orbit with nucleus at the center. Then he also said that here the quantization rule is possible. that is the principal quantum number will be equal to the sum of the azimuthal quantum number and also the radial quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number is otherwise called orbital quantum number. That is the principal quantum number n is equal to nr plus n pi. Nr means radial quantum number, n pi means orbital or azimuthal quantum number. Then here when the electron revolves in the elliptical orbit, then a tangential velocity acts outward v. Then this v is divided into two components, that is v pi for that is for orbital quantum number, that is orbital motion, then radial quantum number, that is vr. Then velocity vr acts inwards, that is vr act along AO and v pi act along AB. Then from this there are coordinates. Here the coordinates are polar coordinates. The polar coordinates are r and pi. Therefore vr will be equal to dr by dt, then v pi will be equal to d pi by dt. Then it moves when the electron revolves, it possesses some momentum, that is the radial momentum is pr, that is equal to m into dr by dt, you know mv. The orbital momentum is p pi, you know m r square omega, that is m r square into omega equal to d pi by dt. Then here m is the mass of the electron. Then you take the kinetic energy of the electron, that is it is equal to the sum of the orbital kinetic energy and the radial kinetic energy. Therefore kinetic energy, you know, p square by 2m. Here for radial p r square by 2m. Then plus for orbital, that is p pi square divided by 2m into r square. Then according to Wilson Sommerfeld quantization, that is the line integral of the momentum will be equal to n heights. Therefore integral pr into dr is equal to nr into h. Then integral p pi into d pi is equal to n pi into h. Here h is the Planck's constant. Then you write the potential energy of the electron that you have studied. My electron means negative, minus Z square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Then here the total energy will be equal to the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. Then you will get, you put the potential energy, then you put the kinetic energy, then you get three equations, that is 1, 2, 3. These equations are the fundamental equation. This is used for the motion of an electron in an elliptical orbit. Then for ellipse it has semi-major axis and also what is semi-minor axis. Here the semi-major axis will be A, then the semi-minor axis will be B. Then the formula for that is root of 1 minus epsilon square, that is equal to B by A. That is, this B can be written as n pi and A can be written as n pi plus nr. Then you know n pi plus nr, that is equal to the principal quantum number n. Therefore B will be equal to, you cross multiply this A, that is equal to A into n pi by n. Here epsilon means what? Eccentricity of the ellipse. Then this equation 4, this is the condition for the quantization of orbits. Therefore this shows that the electron can revolve around the nucleus in only elliptical orbits. Then the energy of the electron can be written as En is equal to the energy of the electron is En is equal to minus m into z square e power 4 by 32 pi square epsilon naught square into 2 pi by n pi h the whole square into 1 minus epsilon square. This you want to study. Then we know that is root of 1 minus epsilon square will be equal to what? N pi by n. Therefore En can be written as what means minus mz square e power 4 by 32 phi square epsilon naught square into 2 pi by n pi into this 1 minus epsilon square, that is can be written as n pi by n the whole square. then divided by, that is n pi the whole square into h square, that is equal to minus, then you multiply and write here pi square gets cancelled, then 2 square means 4 32 cancel and becomes 8. Then n pi square gets cancelled, therefore m z square e power 4 divided by 8 h square n square epsilon naught square. This is the expression for energy which is obtained in the Bose theory. Then this equation 4, you see the equation 4, it gives the shape of the orbit, that is it is determined by the ratio, that is n pi by n, that is if n pi will be equal to n, then the orbits are circle, that is equal to a. You see the diagram that is here this diagram corresponds to the 3 values of the principal quantum number, that is for each value of n, that is if n is equal to 1 means there will be one orbit, n pi will be equal to 1. Then if n is equal to 2 means n pi is equal to 1, n pi is equal to 2. Then if n is equal to 2 means n pi is 3 means n pi is equal to 1, then n pi is equal to 2, n pi is equal to 3. Therefore like that n is equal to 1 means n pi is equal to 1, then one orbit will be circular orbit, then therefore n is equal to 1 means n pi is equal to 1, that is circular orbit. Then n equal to 2 means n pi is equal to 1, then n pi is equal to 2, therefore n pi is equal to 1, it is elliptical orbit, then n pi is equal to 2, that will be circular orbit. Then n is equal to 3 means n pi will be equal to 1, that is elliptical orbit, then n pi equal to 2 will be elliptical orbit, then n pi is equal to 3, that is circular orbit. Therefore one orbit will be circular and the others will be what? Elliptical orbit. Then here it has same value for the major axis, same value for the major axis, and it has different value for the minor axis.